to their community. Okay, we're looking for leaders. And like some of you have talked to me, I've told you, we're not looking for the next governor of California, right? We're not looking for the next president. We're looking for people who are going to make a difference in their communities. So someone who's going to look and see, in my community, this is not working so well, what can I do? So go out and find something now. Volunteer for something. Find something you care about, because we really value that kind of person on our campus. So if you can show us that on your application, that helps us balance GPA sometimes. So I'm not saying go do a whole lot of extracurricular activities. If you only have extracurricular activities and you don't really have the grades, that's not going to work so well. You got to have both. Okay, so Berkeley can be hard, I know. All right, so minimum GPA to transfer to the UCs is a 2.4. Okay, so problem with the 2.4 overall GPA is that this is a very competitive world we live in. And depending on the demand for the campus, that GPA rises. Okay, so anyone know what the minimum is for Berkeley?
3.77.
Oh, that would be totally scary. I'm so glad it's not. Good guess. I mean, sometimes it feels like it, right?
3.2?
Okay. Okay, 3.0. Okay, so 3.0 is the minimum, unless you're engineering. Who's engineering here? Okay, so engineering, College of Engineering has a cutoff. And it's not transferable GPA, it's overall GPA. And it has been 3.4 this year. They were talking about putting up to a 3.5. Okay, so College of Engineering is a little tough, but they have just too many applicants. Okay, but in general, the UC transferable GPA of a 3.0 is a minimum to get into the review process. This year we had over 17,000 students applying, and we have, well, we don't know exactly how many spaces we have right now because of all the budget cuts and the stuff that's going on between UC president and Jerry Brown. But in general, we have less than 4,000 spaces. Okay, so it's about 20 to 25% of students are admitted as transfer. So in general, with a 3.0, that might count against you. Okay, so you want to have the highest grades that you can. So at Berkeley, the higher your grades, the harder it is to turn you down. Okay, so I know a lot of you have heard of 4.0s who didn't get in. There's usually something going on with that application. Okay, students didn't fill out the forms they needed to do in January. There was something missing. They had the wrong English. There's usually something that's not right. Okay, having a 4.0 is generally a really strong GPA. Okay, I'm going to go 1 and then 2. Okay, yeah. You had a question for me? Yeah, no, sorry. Okay, George.
How often would you say that transfer applicants are rejected due to not filling out form or not completing a requirement?
It's going to kind of depend on the major for the requirement. So there's two parts there: not filling out a form and then not completing requirements. So if you are doing IGETC, you have to have IGETC complete by when?
Spring of the year that you intend to.
Right. So this is really important at Berkeley. If you are doing IGETC to transfer, you have to have it completed by the end of the spring before you transfer. You cannot use that summer. Okay, so sometimes if you're missing something from IGETC and you're planning to take a class in summer to complete IGETC, Berkeley's going to turn you down. That doesn't apply to all UCs, but Berkeley will turn you down. Depending on your major, if it is a capped major, so capped majors at Berkeley are the ones that we have too many students trying to get into. So capped majors are psych, econ, computer science, there's a couple of them. Okay, so if it's a capped major where the demand is high and you're missing some of the major requirements, that could count against you. Okay, so if you're applying to econ and you're missing calculus, one of the calculus classes, it's very likely it's not an automatic, oh no, but it's going to count against you. Okay. UC Berkeley makes you fill out a lot of forms. So those people who applied, you got to do forms, right? And how easy is it to get those wrong? So so you're going to submit your application in November, the fall before you enter into the UCs, and that's not it. In January, you got to go back and you got to give us an update of what were your grades for fall. So the last time we see your grades is the fall before you want to transfer. So that fall, you want to show us really strong grades. We love to see really strong grades in that last fall. Okay. So we don't know what your grades are going to be for spring, But we want to know what classes are you going to take, because when you submit that in November, you don't always know what classes are offered, maybe a schedule conflict, whatever you put on there, you got to change. So we want to know in January